I still think it's funny that what started as where might we want to live someday after we retire has turned into an actual project.
That's because someday has a bad habit of sneaking up on you.
So now we're doing the smart thing and checking places out before we're forced to guess.
I'm going to spend real time in a few cities and see what they're actually like to live in.
Not just the pretty parts either.
Nope. The weather, the air, the walking, the cost, the overall vibe, all the stuff that matters once the vacation is over.
In other words, before we retire, we're doing homework.
That's right. I actually wanted to live in these places for a month and see what everyday life feels like.
That sounds a lot more useful than sitting at home comparing climate charts and property taxes.
Exactly. Choosing a retirement city is too important to do from a computer screen, so I'm going to go find out what it's really like. Now, before we get into the details, here's the basic idea. I'm already retired, and Tony retires next year. And instead of guessing about where we might want to spend future summers, I'm going to go do some real world scouting for both of us,
So basically, you're the test pilot,
or the guinea pig. I'm going to spend a month in a few cities we think might be contenders and see what they're actually like to live in.
not just what they look like on paper.
That's right. A place can look great online and still be wrong once you're actually there dealing with everyday life.
And that's why we're doing this before we have to make a big decision.
Well, I guess the first point to make would be this is not random travel. It's a deliberate part of retirement planning on our part.
So how did we arrive to these options?
Well, I think it was actually your idea to begin with to do this in the first place. But then I, you know, got together all the criteria that is important to us in our retirement and fed it into ChatGPT and ask it, to make a list of the top candidates of cities to possibly visit. So, and I kept trying to tweak the criteria to make it, more accurate as to what we wanted. And yeah, it came up with a list of cities, and we picked the top three that I'm definitely going to visit. And if there's time and and the money, then maybe we'll do more than three.
So we're not looking for a perfect city. We're looking for a place that fits the way we live.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a perfect city. Everything's going to have pluses and minuses. We're just looking for a place that has more pluses than minuses and that fits the life we want in retirement. And next point would be a short visit doesn't tell you much. Any place can be charming for 3 days.
And we have done that, right? We have taken many short trips. And in fact, for this one, I'm going to take it as a vacation. I am going to go
Yeah.
join you for a week.
Well, I'm actually going to be treating it as a job while I'm there. And of course, I'm going to take time to enjoy it. It would be silly not to. But a portion of it is going to be, I'm going to think of it as a job. And we're just wasting time and money if I don't do that. So,
Right, but the real test is daily life, right?
mhm.
Grocery stores, traffic, noise, walking routes, errands, pace, people, the overall zeitgeist.
Yeah, and that will be my job to figure all this stuff out, make notes, talk about it. Well, yeah, it'll be a vacation for you when you come to visit, but we're still going to talk about the stuff that I've learned, and so next point I guess would be this. This is a summer living question, not a vacation question, and that distinction matters. So yeah, we're looking at places to stay during the summer, and Yeah, it's not a vacation. So,
But it's going to be interesting. Like, after a month, the question will be, could I still be here for a couple more months?
yeah,
Or am I ready to go back home?
yeah, that's going to be the big question. It's like, do I go away after the month thinking, man, it would be really cool to come back here, or do I say, well, I'm kind of glad to be going back home, you know?
Right,
And that would be very telling.
for sure. Now, health is part of the motivation, but not the whole story. And for you,
Yeah, that's one of the big reasons we're doing this because I have a couple of health issues, and one of the most important criteria we put into the city search is a clean air, dust free air, low allergens because. We live in a dusty place, a lot of allergens, and it's really wreaking havoc on me. And I've tried allergy doctors, allergy shots. So allergies are not the only thing, but just an improved climate for the summer.
and also good health care, right? That was another one of the criteria.
Exactly. Yeah. It's Yeah, I don't want to disparage the health care we have here because I'm grateful for it, but I've lived in enough places to know that, yeah, there are places where it's a little better. So that was one of the criteria also. So this process is probably going to teach us something about ourselves and what really matters to us in a place.
And I think that right now we think certain things are important, but once you're there, you're going to say, wait a second, maybe we had it wrong. This was not as important as we thought.
Yeah. And it's a chance to be intentional instead of reactive. Retirement should not feel like falling off a cliff. It's like, I like to say that there are times in life when you need to make a leap of faith, but retirement is not one of those times, in my opinion.
I agree. So, what makes a city a contender?
Well, we have a list of must haves and nice to haves or strong extras. And we'll start with the must haves. And right on top of the list, is it safe enough to feel comfortable day to day? Very important.
And is it affordable in real life? So, rent is one thing, but what about groceries, gas, eating out, and everyday expenses? And it has to be comparable to the cost of living that we have right now.
Yeah, I mean, it has to fit our budget. It's like, I'd like to be wealthy and not have to worry about it, but we're not quite there. So we do have to live within our budget.
Within our means, yes.
Okay, and as we mentioned before, good healthcare access is one of the main reasons we're doing this. You don't want to be impressed by the scenery and disappointed by the doctor situation.
Absolutely. And for us, walkability is very important. Definitely not optional. We love to walk not only around the block, but we like to hike trails and yeah, we like to be
Yeah,
active.
and it has to. Well, there are trails around where we're going, but the neighborhood also has to be walkable. We don't want to drive to a trail every day. So
Right.
yeah, for us, walkability not optional. Uh, Clean air, that's a real factor and not a luxury. That's definitely a must-have, not negotiable.
Absolutely. And the seasonal climate that actually works for you, not just, whatever you see on a brochure, right?
Yeah, and that's exactly why we're doing this. Why we're going is because we don't trust the brochures. We've lived long enough to know that. And retirement friendly day to day living, a city should feel livable. It shouldn't consistently feel like something you just have to tolerate.
And going back to, could we stay longer? Would we look forward to staying longer after a month, or would we be ready to go back home?
Exactly. If the month is over and I can't wait to come home, that sort of tells us what we need to know. Or if I'm eager to go back, that tells us what we need to know too. Now the strong extras. These are not the must-haves, but they do provide points for the contender if they have them.
And access to nature is one of them, right? It is not essential everywhere, but it's a real plus.
Exactly. And just a friendly, easygoing vibe. Friendly locals are not a necessity, but it's a big plus. Indifferent locals I can live with, not rude locals. If it's rude locals, that's definitely points against.
For sure. And we like our coffee. Well, you would say that I like my frou-frou coffee, but
Yeah.
we like our food. And so basic amenities, right? The small stuff matters because it becomes the daily stuff.
Yes, that is correct. And is there enough going on to stay interested? Not frantic, but not dead. We don't want a super touristy place, but we do want, things to do if we want to go do something.
And as we said before, is it easy to run errands and handle normal life without friction? That's the stuff that reveals whether a place is actually a contender.
Yep. And a contender is not just a nice place to visit. It's a place you can actually live in without feeling like you made a mistake.
So you have an assignment, right? A scouting report.
Yeah, to reiterate some of the important points to us. This is the month-to-month on-the-ground test. It's not a vacation. I'm there for a specific purpose.
And to find out what's there to do. Is there enough to stay engaged?
And how affordable is it, really?
Not just rent, right? But meals, little expenses, etc.
Everything.
And how does the healthcare situation look? Is there access? And that's really what matters, right? So you might have to talk to locals to find out.
I'm not going to be there long enough to get a PCP and go to the doctor, so I'll have to talk to locals. And what's just the overall vibe of the place? Are the locals friendly, indifferent, or rude?
And does it feel safe? Would you feel comfortable walking after dark?
Yep, and what's the air like? How do your lungs and energy levels respond to it? That's going to be an important one for me.
And what's the weather like, right? Not just the Google forecast, but the day-to-day version.
Yep. And how did the everyday basics feel? Grocery runs, errands, walking routes, getting around, just handling normal daily life.
And as we said before, how would you feel after the month has lapsed? Would you still like to spend more time there?
And that is the real test. So that's the idea. We don't want to guess our way into retirement and hope for the best. We're trying to put a little more thought into it than that.
A little more thought and a lot less wishful thinking.
Good point. This whole thing is really about figuring out what kind of place fits the life we want next.
Because there is a big difference between what looks nice and would we actually want to be there every summer.
Right. And this is just the start. The first city on the list is Duluth, Minnesota, and we're going to see what it has to offer in real life, not just online.
Which means this is probably going to get interesting pretty quickly.
Probably so. And I'm excited that this will be the first part of a bigger series as we keep scouting more cities in the near future.
So stay tuned. We're just getting started.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hit that button and find out whether Duluth earns a gold star or an eye roll.
So is this what maturity looks like now?
apparently.
I was picturing something more festive.
Yeah, I know, me too. I was hoping for something that required a fancy robe and a cup that requires me to hold my pinky out.
Honey, you grew up in the South. You judge restaurants by the quality of their biscuits.